Well, I've finally decided to take the plunge and get myself a GoPro. But now that I've moved on to 4K, I've decided to go for the Hero 6 because I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the best 4K video I'll get for some time. This is what the packaging looks like. And as you can see, it doesn't come with an awful lot. Along with the camera, we've got a frame with a mount on it, a USB to USB Type-C cable for charging and data transfer, a set of instructions, one battery and two mounts. So very little there, and I really do think that for the price you pay, GoPro should provide more gear than that. And then to put the battery in, you just press this button and slide the cover to the side and the battery just pops in. So once you've popped the battery in, you can slot in the micro SD card. It goes in this way. You have to press it in with your thumbnail until it clicks, and then to close the compartment just push it down and slide it across until that button pops out. So to charge the battery you need to access this compartment on the side. Just press the button down, slide across again, and in there we've got a micro HDMI socket and a Type-C USB socket. So I'm going to plug the USB cable into there and we'll charge it up. So there are three red LEDs to tell you that the GoPro is charging. There's one on the front, we've got one on the bottom, and there's one on the back. When the LEDs switch off, that means that the battery is charged. So you can see now that the battery is fully charged. So to turn the camera on, you just hold the power button, which is on the side. It beeps 3 times. You get the GoPro logo, and the first thing that it will ask you is to set the language up. Just touch the screen there, and then you have to read and agree to the GoPro terms of use and privacy policy. It tells you there that the GPS can capture your location, asks you to turn it on or off. Well, I'm going to put that on, I think. At the moment you can see that we're set for 4K at 60 frames per second and we've got a wide field of view. So as you can see, the initial setup is a little complicated. Now it starts off fairly simple, but then it just spirals downwards. The camera seems to have a mind of its own. Basically, whichever way you swipe, something that you're not expected comes up. So I found that really complicated. But at this point, it's actually asking me to install the GoPro app. Well, I've already got the GoPro app on my phone. So I decided to connect the two together, and then once I'd done that, everything started to work out. So next it's asking for the GoPro app. So connect to camera, Hero 6, my camera is on. So it's saying that my GoPro would like to pair with the phone, so I'll just go for that. Join the Wi-Fi network. And there we go. Everything's more or less controlled with the touch screen. So if we start off at the bottom here, you can see that we've got the recording mode, we've got video, photo, then we've got time-lapse video, time-lapse photo or night-lapse photo. Now time-lapse video will take a photo every so many seconds, whatever interval you choose, and then inside the camera software it will actually turn it from a series of photographs into an actual video. But if you take time-lapse photo, then it will just record the photographs and you will have to download them photographs into your video editing software and stitch them together to make the time-lapse video. So if we swipe from the left across, that will display what's recorded on the micro SD card, and you can play back videos, that type of thing. So if you press the on off button, which is also the mode button on the right hand side as we're looking at it, that will take you out of that menu. Now it's a little bit difficult for me to press because I've got it inside the actual frame there. So if you look to the right hand side of the screen there, you can see the PT. These are the advanced settings. So if we swipe across from there, we go into ProTune. Now ProTune allows you to change various parameters on the camera, so it almost puts it into a sort of semi-automatic manual mode. You can see that we've got that on-off button highlighted there. That means that's switched on. If I actually select it again, it turns off ProTune. If we swipe to the left again, we're going to video stabilization. Now that is basically on or off. I think this is essential, the video stabilization, and I'll demonstrate that a little bit later. Auto low light, and then manual audio control. Now if you select that, you can select wind only or stereo only. So I'm going to turn that off. If you select the resolution, you can change the resolution. You can see we've got 4K. For each one of these, you've got a frame rate. These are the frames per second. Now I've got 30 frames per second selected because I want image stabilization on. I could go to 60 frames per second, and then field of view, you can go from wide to super view. So that just leaves one direction to swipe, and that's from the top. If you come down, you go into settings. The button on the left there, you can actually lock everything. So you put auto lock on so nothing changes. And then this at the right is voice control. And I would actually suggest you try that. It's very, very good. So I'm going to make sure that's on. But if we go through the rest, we've got connections, the GoPro app, and you can connect a new device, change the Wi-Fi band, change the information on the camera, you can reset connections, and you can turn wireless connections off. We can go back again through that arrow. Then we've got preferences. You can take a camera tour. I've not done that. About this GoPro, GoPro updates, time, date, and date format. You can change how they're displayed. So you can go from, on the time, you can go from a 24-hour clock to a 12-hour clock, and you can also change the time very easily just by using the touch screen there. Voice control, I've got that selected on. So when it's actually switched off, you can tell it to turn on again, which is very handy. These are what you've actually got as commands. I'm not going to say them because the thing will start doing what I'm telling it to do. Then we've got the beep volume. You can have the LEDs, different settings, all on, all off. Quick capture, you can pick the camera up and press the record button at the top and it will immediately start recording video. And to turn it off and the camera off, you just press a button again. So that's quite a handy feature. You can change the default mode. It will turn itself off after 15 minutes and you can change that time should you wish to. It's got a screensaver and you can change when that kicks in. Brightness, and I find 10% is absolutely fine in normal daylight, and I just leave that down there to preserve battery life. It's got auto rotation on auto. You can fix it in whatever axis you want. The GPS is on. I've not even tried using that yet. Change the language, video format. Now in the UK we've got PAL, but if you select PAL then you're restricted to, I think it's 25 frames per second, so I'm leaving that in NTSC so that it'll record in 30 frames per second. You've got selections for the HDMI output there. You can format the SD card, reset the camera to the defaults, go for a factory reset. So there's quite a lot in there. But that basically is it for the menus. GoPro turn off. So let's get some filming done. At the moment it's set at 4K 30 frames per second. I've got the sharpness set at high because when I tried it at low there was a definite difference between the two videos, and high is a lot better, it's a lot sharper, which is really what you would expect, I suppose. Anyway, so I've actually got image stabilization on now. I'm holding the GoPro in my hand and I'm just walking along with it. And this will give you an idea of the quality of the microphone, which is not too good, and the reason for that is the fact that this is a waterproof camera. You can actually put it in the water as it is without putting it in a waterproof frame, and because of that they've lost a lot of the sound quality when it comes to the microphone. So let's have a look at image stabilization. Image stabilization is now on and I'm walking forward with the camera, and then I'm going to flip the camera around so it looks at me, and that's one way to see how effective image stabilization is. If you look at the background you'll see how it works. So I'm going to stop now and I'll take image stabilization off, and then I'll carry on with image stabilization off, and I'll swing round so that you can see what it's like when I'm walking in a straight line with the camera facing forwards. And now I'll put image stabilization back on again. So I hope you found this video of some use. The GoPro Hero 6 now, I'm very impressed with the video. But I think that GoPro have lost something by transforming this into a waterproof camera now. This camera can literally be used directly in water without going in a case at all. And because of that, I think the microphone suffers greatly. Other than that, I think it's a very expensive camera, and I also think that they're very stingy on what they give you with the camera. They should give you way more accessories with it. But, and it is a big but, this is the camera that all the other action cameras are gauged against, and I think quite rightly so. The video is exceptional on it. I'm glad that I've got it. It leaves a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, the amount of money I've had to pay for it, but hopefully it will pay for itself in the quality of my videos. Who knows? I hope you found this review useful, and thank you for watching.